What's going down, D-Gens? Got kicked in the gooch last week. Right square in the fucking gooch. Fucking Falcons, Panthers kicked my ass good. But I'll get into that later. This video is going to be kind of short, guys. I apologize. I realize it's later in the week. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we'll get off the slide by doing something a little bit different. Actually, on the slide, it was one fucking week. Anyways, so let's get into the plays for this week. And like I said, this is later in the week, so I apologize because some of the plays that I've given out on Twitter, again, if you haven't already, please try to follow me on Twitter. It's at AG_sports21. Only because the plays I give, lots of times it's much easier, much faster to give out those plays on Twitter. Whether you want to follow them, fade them, tell me fuck you, whatever, that's a lot easier to do it. It's actually a lot easier to just say, like, hey, you suck ass, like, I lost the rent because of you on Twitter than it is on Facebook or YouTube. So, that being said, let's get into the plays, though. The ones that are on the books with Twitter, the main one, and I can tell you my biggest play on the week, is actually going to be on the Vikings-Panthers game for this week. Now, I got it early in the week at 44. That being said, just to be clear, I did buy it down to the 44. This opened at 45, 44 and a half, depending on where your book is at. So I did have to pay a little bit. I got juiced. It was at minus 130, but over 44 on the Vikings-Panthers game. That line, of course, has gone with me, so there's a lot of line value in that one. Like I said, I apologize if you missed it on Twitter. It was put out on there. By the time I put it out on Twitter, I believe it was already at 45, 45 and a half at some places. So either way, you would have had to put in some extra juice on it. I'll give you a way to get on that play if you still want it, then maybe just a little bit better. But that's play number one. My second favorite play for the week was going to be the Buccaneers-Saints. Now, again, I got a different line. I got under 41. At this point, I would say to go ahead and buy it up to the 41. You may be able to find a book here that has it at 40 and a half. And if that's the case, obviously it's going to be cheaper to buy that to 41 than it would be the current line at 40. Mainly because the half point is really not going to be too much either way, but 41 is a key number with totals, specifically with these lower scoring totals. So we're really trying to get that 41. So those are the two plays that I got on early that have moved kind of with me here and makes it a little bit harder to take the number. So again, over 44 for the Vikings-Panthers game, under 41 for the Saints and the Buccaneers. But also we have another play here, which is the Steelers-Texans game, under 42 and a half. So this is one that you can take right now. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to look around. Go to MyBookie, go to GTBets, whichever one you are familiar with. You can get the under 42 and a half. The play is pretty quick on this one. Both teams relatively conservative. Yes, CJ Stroud has looked good in places and at certain times, but I will say that CJ Stroud, the deep throws that he's made, it's primarily because he has to make them. Last week he looked really good against Jacksonville. Jacksonville just could not do a damn thing. I don't know why Jacksonville always struggles against the Texans, even in years where the Texans are really, really bad, which probably is this year. They always struggle with them, so maybe it's just a divisional thing. Who knows? But I would not put too much stock into that last week. Again, CJ Stroud has done decent. He's done good. He's been the best rookie quarterback out this year. But that being said, again, this Pittsburgh defense is for real. They're going to get pressure on him. Not to say that he's not going to score, not to say that the Texans can't win. But both of these offenses are going to struggle. The Steelers' offense has not looked great either. They did have a couple of connections downfield. Pickett looked probably the best he's looked so far this year against the Raiders. But the Raiders, again, not super elite defense themselves. Really, he had 1 to 2 big plays. The rest is just kind of underneath stuff that got open or short fields. Not a whole lot there. But both of these defenses, the Steelers' defense is amazing. TJ Watt has just been wreaking havoc in backfields. The Texans' defense, yeah, they're a little susceptible to the pass. But like I just said, Kenny Pickett is not really lighting it up downfield. And I think some of that is a coaching decision because he has the ability to do it. He has the ability to scramble. I think some of it is simply the offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, trying to kind of take it a little light, keep it as easy as possible for Pickett, for that offense, and try to really just control time of possession. And they're not trying to light up the scoreboard here. I want to say the highest output they've had this entire year is like 24 when they played against the Browns, and that was because they had 2 defensive scores. So really, with the under 42.5 here, what we're saying is we don't think there's going to be a defensive score in this game. I could definitely see this game ending at something like 21-14, 21-17, somewhere around there. An average NFL team should score 21 points offensively, obviously, and I don't think that either of these teams should really be listed as average on offense. They're probably a little bit under that, but somebody's going to have to win. So I do think it's going to be 20 or 21-17, maybe 21-14, something like that. So again, what we're saying is this is not going to have a defensive score in it. Last game here, this is more of like a teaser possibility. I teased it. You don't have to, but it's up to you. At one point, the Patriots were +7. I took them up to +13. This is a same game teaser. So we had the teaser of Patriots +13, under 48.5. So the under was a little bit lower. So that's actually kind of gone against me. So that may be something that you can look to do now. If you want to take either the side or the total, tease it up, and then you can tease it with either the Vikings game or really any of the other games that you like. But the Vikings game is my favorite play for the week. If you tease that one down to 40.5, you're going to get all of the key numbers when it comes to low-scoring games or to games in general. So 41-44, you already have the 47. So you would have, again, the Vikings, Panthers over 40.5. And the Cowboys, Patriots, you would get 44 and 47 and be on the right side of those, obviously, at the 49.5. So if you're going to make a teaser, I would make a totals teaser for both of those games. Like I said, the way I have it is the Patriots +13 with the under 48.5. Again, I still got the 44 and the 47. The 13 I got because I wanted to get through the 10 just in case it comes down to the Cowboys getting like a late field goal or something like that, and covering that 7 points. I don't think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. I think this is going to be another like 17-10 kind of game. The Cowboys' offense has struggled very mightily. The Patriots' offense is not looking great either. They have a lot of yards. They just haven't converted a lot in the red zone. Probably a lot of field goals coming up in this game for both sides of the ball. So those are the plays, guys. The teaser, like I said, feel free to mix and match that how you like. But my favorite play with the teaser would be the under 49.5 for the Patriots-Cowboys game, over 40.5 for the Vikings and Panthers. But again, you could tease that as well if you wanted to tease something like the Buccaneers Saints to under 46. That way you get the 41 and the 44. Or one last thing I do want to note, the Saints and the Raiders are officially teased against teams. The Saints have a record of 3-0 when you tease against them. Same thing with the Raiders. So take a look at that, guys. But those are the plays for this week. Y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.